This is my dad. He rides his bike nearly every day. Never exceedingly far, just a 10.5-mile out and back run. Sometimes he would do his route twice, which equates to him riding 84 miles a week, 4,368 miles in a year. Rain or shine, light or dark, he is relentless in the pursuit to get his daily ride in. As you will learn, his motive for riding a bike came later. Prior to that, another sport was his priority. Through the years, he has done a few big rides. We have completed a couple of father and son adventure ride bikes. For the most part, though, he religiously rides his 10.5 miles through the hills of rural Alabama. He is a creature of habit. I could go on, but this is my dad's story, and he should tell it.
Hi, I'm Jim Davis, they call me Gunner. I'm 78 years old and I like to ride my bike. I was born in southern Illinois, a little town called Herrin in 1944, and I lived on kind of a truck farm, big garden, had cows and pigs and this sort of thing. I was in 4-H, and then in 1955, my dad moved to Missouri. That's where the Davis clan was from. And he became a Ford tractor dealer. So I was around farmers and tractors for a big part of my life. So moved to a little town called Perryville, Missouri. And I rode a bike when I was a kid, real small. And my sport was primarily basketball. Dad put up a basketball goal. It was just an old steel pipe with a hickory wood background or backboard. I played all through grade school, junior high, and of course high school. I was lucky enough to they had a conference over there called the Southeast Missouri Conference, and all the schools were in it. And I was lucky enough to make the all-conference team a couple years.
How did you get the nickname Gunner?
Well, one day the two boys, my two sons, got to looking at some newspaper clippings that my mom had put together about when I played basketball, and one of the sports writers used the term Gunner Davis, and it stuck. And so now the kids call me Gunner primarily. And I had a lot of fun playing basketball. Yeah, that was my life for a long time, and after that, and in fact, I played basketball all during while I was in the Air Force, just intramurals, pickup games. And then I continued to play basketball, I guess up till I was about, 55 years old or so. I used to play pickup games twice a week in a small gym. And we selected teams by hitting free throws, and I could pretty well hit free throws pretty good, so I was always on a team. But I became the oldest player out there, and it was hard playing against those young kids. And one day I got charged pretty bad and fell and everything, and I decided it was probably time to maybe give it back. The doctor said, "Jim, you can still play basketball, but you're not doing your body any good by doing it, or your back and everything." So I kind of gave up basketball and kind of got into cycling. Here we are in Key Largo. We've driven 842 miles to get here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we're here to do a ride from Key Largo to Key West, which is about 102 miles over the next 2 to 3 days. I had been to Key West before, and I noticed the bicycle path going on the road down, and I'd read some about the Key West ride. In fact, I had another friend of mine, Mike Carnwell. He and I had driven or ridden our bikes a portion of the Key West ride. So I always thought I wanted to come down here and do the whole thing. And so that's what we're trying to do, and we should probably be leaving shortly to do it, but it's just something I always wanted to do. Looks like good scenery, good winds, good ocean. Should be a good ride. And that'd be one of the things that I always wanted to do.
Gunner, what are we doing?
Good?
How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. A little anxious.
Yeah?
Hoping I can do it.
Gunner, you made it.
Yeah,
Day one.
yeah, I got a sore tail.
How you feeling?
Good. The birthday boy came about because of a guy by the name of Frank Starks. He had some heart problems, and the doctor told him to start exercising more, so he said he took up cycling, and he wanted to ride a mile for each year of his age. And so he did that, and that's where I got the idea. And then we did our first one with just 4 of us, and we rode from Boca Raton down to Fort Lauderdale. And down there and back was about a little over 50 miles. And we just had plain Jane bikes. We all had a sore tail when we got back, and but it was good. And then from there on, we started having once a year, probably early spring, we'd have a ride, and we'd invite some more friends in, and it became known as a birthday boy rides. We had a theme. MASH was one of them we had. We had NASCAR. We had a country western one where we milked a wooden cow, and it just kind of grew from there. One of the reasons we did it that way was to get more people involved in bicycling and kayaking, and I figured that was a good way to kind of do it, because a lot of them didn't ride much, but I'd rent bikes or bring bikes and everything, and we'd try to find a bike that fit them, and we'd go on a ride.
Gunner, here we are.
Yeah.
Day 2, buddy.
Yep.
How you feeling?
Well, I feel pretty good. The only thing that's a little sore is my tail end.
How was rest last night?
Well, it's good. Yeah, we're good.
And so what's the plan for the day?
Well, we're going to keep going to Key West. Gonna try to get down to a No Name Key and the No Name Pub down there. It's about 40 miles away. We rode about 43, I guess, yesterday. And so we'll have our next stop there. And then the next day it'll be a day down to Key West. That's what our goal is. I always strive to make good grades and this sort of thing. I never did test well, but I made good grades. I studied a lot. And based on that, I decided maybe I could try college. Maybe I could make it through college. And I wanted to give that a try. And so I went to Southern Illinois University and was able to succeed. Studying a lot, and then at that time we were building up for Vietnam, the country was, and every male student that went to a land-grant college like Southern Illinois had to be an ROTC, and so I was kind of in the Air Force, but like I say, Vietnam was on the horizon. We were building up for that, and the draft was still in. I thought I might be drafted. So I said, if I have to go in the military, I'd like to go in as an officer. Well, I was grateful to see a lot of part of the world that a lot of people don't ever see by traveling, living in different places, different cultures. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I think it expanded the whole horizon of what the world is like. Not only for me, but for Carol, my wife, and Brett and Gannon, the two sons. I think they kind of had an opportunity there by seeing a bigger part of the world. And undoubtedly, I think it had impacted them as well when they made decisions further upstream to do what they wanted to do, to go to school and college and this sort of thing. So I don't have any regrets. It's been a good life for me and Carol, and I think for the boys would agree too. Now, of course, I'm retired, and everything is, we're just living life, doing the best we can. Well, we got about 30 miles probably to go into Key West. It's going to be one of our shorter days. We don't know about the paths. Some of the paths are pretty good, and some of them we're going to have to ride on the shoulder of the road pretty close. So it's kind of a risky ride in today, but hopefully everything will go good. We are at Key West at the southernmost part of the United States. It's 90 miles from here to Cuba. And we did it from Key Largo all by bicycle. And
How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I think it was harder than I thought it would be. I'm glad I did it. I won't, I'll probably never do it again, but it's a ride that I always wanted to make, and we made it. And that's what counts.
What was some highlights, lowlights?
Well, the lowlights was the flat tires, I guess. And the highlights were, well, the riding with all the scenery and the ocean, going to the beach, the air museum, the food places that we ate were very good, and our accommodations were good, and Mom did all that. She made all the accommodations and was a support vehicle for us. And so I'll be forever grateful for what she did.
How are you going to sleep tonight?
That's only fair.
Good.